One of the only things that we can do is to build our tax base. And when I say that, I say that we need to allow new businesses into Mount Vernon, or even new residential people coming to Mount Vernon. And this has been controversial. But our reality is that if manufacturing is not here, we need to look at those manufacturing corridors and put some housing where there used to be the manufacturing. People often miss that if you own a single-family residential home, you pay the taxes of the value of the property, right? So if you own a home and it's worth, I'm making this up, $100,000, and let's just say you pay $10,000 in taxes, that's it, whether anybody's in the house or not. When it comes to income-producing properties, there is a land value tax that goes on that's kind of like the base, but then as that entity makes money in its income and loss statements for the year, their profit statements, their taxes go along with that. Their assessment goes along with that. So if we have an empty warehouse, they're going to pay a base tax, but there's a thing called certiaries where they can say, yeah, we were paying this for years, but since we haven't had business or business has been reduced, the taxes that they pay goes less. And if the taxes that they pay goes less, that means that that loss of income has to be balanced by the homeowners. So one of the challenges that I have had being councilman for the 10 plus years is trying to find new businesses to replace the businesses that I've left. And that's why on Mount Vernon West, down by the Mount Vernon West train station, we've taken some of those warehouses and made it into housing units. And the goal was to make them into housing units without any pilots so that they pay their full share of taxes. Our best example right now of a full tax-paying entity, residential, is 42 West Broad, where that building up in Fleetwood is going up. It is higher than I'm sure most people expected to see in Mount Vernon. But between that building with all the residences that are going to be there and the parking garage that they leased from the city, did not buy from the city, subleased from the city, we're going to earn about $1 million of tax revenue just for that one entity alone. And of course, salaries continue to go up, which means your taxes go up. This building alone would bring $1 million in, which would keep those taxes low. So we're trying to find the right level of development. And I know a lot of people criticize me and the council for approving a lot of these housing complexes and the pilots that go into play. You would be surprised of how many housing complexes or projects that come to the city of Mount Vernon that we reject, and you don't get to see those. What we try to do is to find housing units or any type of development that is good for the city. So currently I've been appointed to not only, of course, the city council, but as city council president, I'm on the real estate committee. The mayor has appointed me to the IDA, the Industrial Development Agency, and the URA, the Urban Renewal Agency. So I'm able to, because of my finance background, be able to see these developments, how they're going to work as far as land use is concerned, and how they fit into the makeup of Mount Vernon, of Mount Vernon. So if you notice, the development that I've been working on for the last few years has been around our train stations, one of our assets. We want to make sure that if we're going to have new people moving into the city of Mount Vernon, it's going to be as close to the train station as possible. And of course, before COVID, we're hoping that those people make a good amount of money and they work where the most money is, in Manhattan. They need to be close to the train station. And if they're close to the train station, they won't need cars, because the problem then is where are they going to park all these cars? So the challenge, of course, is balancing all of that out. And that's what we do in the council. That's what the land use boards, the planning board, the ARB board, our architecture review board, and the zoning board do. So we're trying to work that out. And most recently, we've had some discussions with the school district, who we need to work with better to be able to show what we're doing, and so we can work out the situation with our children as well. And they need to be partners into us having the kids use the facilities for after school. So all in all, I've looked at the finances of the city, figured out what's the best way to reduce taxes for the residents. And the best way to do that is good development, not bad development, because we don't allow that. And of course we get criticized for any development plan that comes in, but we look to do really good development for the city of Mount Vernon. And I think 42 West Broad, if people were to really look at that project and how it's being built and the technological advances in that building, Mount Vernon should be very impressed with what's going on there. So all in all, that's the way we're going to reduce our taxes.